haxTuple is a competition. The competition is starting right now, or by the end of the webinar. And so if you don't have the information you need, by the end of the webinar, make sure that you ask questions and are ready to start out on the competition, which will last for 1 month. Now, at xTuple, we realize that our community is sort of the secret weapon that we have against a lot of our competitors. And haxTuple is an event which binds together and tries to join the forces of our community worldwide to make the product better and to have a little bit of fun while we're doing it, and to give away some prizes to the to the best contributors. This is, I think, our third haxTuple. It's the first one in a few years, and it's going to be, the rules are going to be a little bit different this time around, but it's going to be very similar to previous iterations. Now, through the course of this webinar, I'm going to be giving you a lot of information, and there are a lot of resources that we've created to help everyone get up to speed and to understand how the event is going to work. Luckily, you don't have to write copious notes, because almost everything that I'm going to be talking about today is documented on our wiki. So I think everyone can see my screen right now. If you go to github.com/xtuple/xtuple/wiki, you will see our wiki homepage, and on the right bar you should see a link to haxTuple 2014. In that link are the details of the competition, a tremendous number of links to resources that you will find valuable throughout the competition, and it is really the place to go, and it's a resource that complements the webinar that I'm going to be doing right now. Okay, so as before, the way the competition is going to work is, you basically get a point for every bug you fix. There is a wild card this time around, which is that we do want to get people interested and involved in our new REST server, and of course our web application, which is extremely extensible. And so we encourage everyone to also get their hands dirty with building something on our new technology. The way that we incentivize this in the terms of the competition is that you can double your points towards victory if you build a practical extension or a REST client. And if you don't know anything about the new technologies that we've been building, this is really the month to get involved. Our development team is going to be particularly responsive to everyone's questions this month. And we've spent about a month so far preparing what I think are pretty good resources for getting up to speed, both with the new technology and also for our desktop technology. Now, as far as the bug fixes go, you can fix bugs in either the Qt client or in the web client. There are plenty of bugs in both, and I'll be going over a little bit later on exactly where to find those bugs and how to claim them and how to get credit for them. Okay, so the prizes are, the first prize is a pair of Google Glass, which I assume need no introduction. We've got a few in the office. We've been working on them for some sort of skunkworks projects, and it's a very exciting technology, and you should be excited to try to get your hands on one. The second place prize is a Motorola TC55, which has really become the cornerstone of our mobile inventory effort. It's a ruggedized Android-based device running a modern version of Android with a built-in barcode scanner, and it's basically it's warehouse ready, and we've been developing with it in mind as we are working on our mobile inventory solution. There's going to be plenty of other prizes as well. You can get a T-shirt if you fix 3 bugs. As with last time, we'll get some geeky prizes to send out to all the honorable mentions that contribute. We have a special prize also for the winner of our best extension or best REST client, which is a chance to see Steve Wozniak when he comes to xTupleCon in October. Now, most of the people on this call are remote, and we really do hope that you are coming for xTupleCon. And if you do win the prize for the best REST client or the best extension, then you'll still have to pay for the conference, but not for the part of meeting Steve Wozniak. Okay, so there are a lot of resources to help you guys out with how to do a setup of a development environment. One of the great strides that we've made in the past year is that we have simplified the setup of both our development and our production environments, in large part using a tool called Vagrant, which you can think of as being a wrapper around a VM. Instead of going through a laborious manual setup process to get a development environment installed, you can follow our Vagrant how-to, to which you can find a link from this wiki page. Link is down here. To set up a Vagrant VM inside of your computer. One nice thing about Vagrant is that even though the environment is hosted within a VM, you can still access all of the files with the tools that you're comfortable with. So you can use your favorite text editor on your host machine and use your browser in your host machine and still be able to develop within a carefully controlled development environment. For those people that want to make changes to the C++ code, we also have a flavor of Vagrant that involves a source build of the Qt code. That's a huge step forward from what we've had really until recently for people that want to jump in and get involved. It really dramatically reduces the learning curve for people that want to get their hands dirty with our code. So I invite everyone to check either one or both of those Vagrant environments out to get started. For people that are intent to fix bugs, then the best place to go is our incident tracker, and you can find a link to that again on the wiki page. And also on the wiki page, we describe exactly how to grab a bug, add a comment to say that you're going to be the one that does it. Make sure you flip the haxTuple flag to true so we know to count it towards the competition. And all that is going to be very similar to our previous competition. So those of you who have been around last time shouldn't find too many surprises in doing that. But at the same time, we are excited to get people involved with building stuff out on our new technology. And so we've got a lot of documentation for how our REST clients work and how our REST server works, as well as how to create an extension within our mobile client or mobile web client. The big difference between a REST client, a standalone REST client, and an extension into our mobile client is that an extension to our mobile client will alter the behavior of our main web app, and you can liken it to scripts that you put into the Qt client. A standalone REST client, on the other hand, does not need to be written in JavaScript, does not need to plug into our main app. It's just a way of accessing database data because we consider our server really to be our API, and we've got 3 great clients on our server. There's the desktop client, there's the web client that we're developing, and there's e-commerce, which also uses REST to talk to our database. We've got already a bunch of other possible REST clients in the works, and if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, let us know if you're looking for inspiration for things to do. REST is certainly the best way to write integrations between our database and anything else you would possibly want to integrate with. And we've written a bunch of sample implementations in a bunch of different languages for you to get started. For those of you that are interested in writing an extension, I would recommend starting with our ice cream tutorial, which is not only a good way to explain how extensions work in our application, but for those of you who have not yet dug into all the new layers in the web stack, it does a very good job of describing what's new in the database, what's new in the web server layer, as well as how to write code in the browser. for that matter, for the people that are interested in writing a JavaScript code, we've created a few tutorials in the form of videos under the aegis of xTuple U, which is our new training initiative, for people that would like a video to help explain how to do web development within our new technology. Those videos, there's 3 of them. They're between 5 and 10 minutes long a piece. Okay, so as I've said, a bug tracker is a very good place to start to find what possible bugs you might be interested in fixing, or if there's any bugs that have been needling you for a while, then this is the time to contribute back and help tackle them. We also keep on GitHub for our web client a bunch of better curated entry points to writing code, and so if you're interested in doing that, I would follow the link to the Fair Game section of our GitHub issues. Again, the link is here on the wiki page for those issues. Go back. And yeah, and a few last things I would say is that if you're going to commit code, you are going to need to know a little bit something about Git. We provided a brief tutorial on the way that we use Git. There are lots of resources for using Git if you are new to it. And for the sake of the competition, we've created a Git branch called haxTuple, both on the Qt client repository, which is where our C++ code is, also in the xTuple repository, which is where both our database code lives and where our mobile web app code lives, as well as in the private extensions repository, which is a commercial repository. If you're a partner, then you'll have access to it. You should have access to it. Let us know if you don't. And that's where our commercial code lives, both the commercial code supporting the desktop client and the commercial code supporting the web client. And of course, if you want to get in touch with us, you can frequently find us on IRC. We've got a free node room called #xTuple, #xTuple, or #xTuple, where you will typically find at least a few of us congregating. But of course, our forums are an excellent resource to get in contact with us and the community at large. And for the web technologies, we are increasingly spending time on the GitHub issues page. And the link to that is also in this README. Okay, so I've more or less sort of read down from top to bottom all the details that are the overview of the competition and so sort of the links to the resources. All that stuff are things that you can find on our wiki page. But before I let you guys go, I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has as far as how the competition works or how to access the resources you need to take part in it. Okay, no questions. That's good. I've been very informative, I guess. You guys know where to contact us if you do have any questions, and we're all excited about the event. So thanks for joining in, and we look forward to working with each one of you in the next month.